Just a few short years after leaving Iraq, the United States appears to be headed back to the Middle East, this time with a different enemy in their sights. Following the ousting of dictator Saddam Hussein, terrorist organization ISIS is filling a destructive power vacuum in that region. In the past few months, they've managed to put a deadly stranglehold on parts of Syria and northern Iraq. The House of Representatives and the Senate have passed rare bipartisan legislation to fund Syrian rebels in their fight against ISIS. Joined now by 9th District Congressman Steve Cohen from Washington. Mr. Cohen, thanks for being here. And if you would, talk specifically about yesterday's vote that now sends funding to fight ISIS in Syria. How did you vote?
Well, I voted to support the president. And as Congressman McKeon, who was the chairman of the committee, the Armed Forces Committee, said, we have one commander-in-chief. This is a situation where we are training and going to be arming the Syrian Free Army in Saudi Arabia to go back to Syria to defend land they've got from ISIS and from Assad both. It will not involve American troops, boots on the ground, but it will involve the training of the Syrian Free Army, and I think that's part of the strategy the president has to defeat ISIS and protect the homeland.
Congressman, James P. Moore is a Democrat out of Virginia, representative there with you. His quote yesterday was, it's the best choice of the worst options. Does that seem to be the overriding sentiment? Because there wasn't an overwhelming support for this plan.
Well, there was a majority, and it was a bipartisan majority. But no, I think what the congressman suggested is accurate. Nobody's real happy about going to war. I don't think the president is. I certainly am not. And it's not necessarily going to war, but it's investing our treasure in training these individuals, hoping that they will be able to be an effective fighting force and that the weapons that they get will not fall into the hands of ISIS as happened in Iraq. We will have the ability to have air cover for them when they are defending locations that they right now occupy and that they hope to maintain occupying by having better defensive abilities. So I think it is the best of a difficult situation. People have complained about past strategies in the Middle East and failures in Iraq, but this is a different situation. It's not boots on the ground, and ISIS is trying to establish a caliphate, have territory that they hold, and have a country that will be a threat to America. They've made it part of basically their constitution.
There also seems to be, Congressman, some bipartisan skepticism as to the chances for success out of this mission. Do you feel as they do?
Well, I think that everybody felt like it was it's not an easy win. It's a difficult situation. It's a difficult terrain, and we don't know how the Syrian Free Army will be able to effectively use the training we give them. We hope it can be successful, and just like the congressman said, it might be the best of the poor options we had. Nobody was real happy about it. We just think we should support the president.
Congressman, do you feel as though we've been down this road before? There have been other comparisons made. We did this with the Taliban when they were fighting against the Russian invasion of Afghanistan in the late 70s and early 80s. We've done this before in the Middle East. Can you see this going that awry?
No, I don't see it that way, but you never know what will happen. But the situation in Afghanistan is, for centuries, countries have tried to occupy Afghanistan and failed. Part of that's the Afghani people. Part of it is the Afghanistan terrain. Part of it is the foreign armies fighting against Afghanis. This will be Syrians in a Syrian civil war, and in Iraq, it's Iraqis and Kurds in an Iraq civil war. So it's a different situation. We'll be arming and training the Iraqis, the Kurds, and the Syrians, providing air cover. It won't be American boots on the ground. It won't be in a foreign invading force. So I think it's a different situation.
He is 9th District Congressman Steve Cohen. Mr. Cohen, thank you for your time tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you, Darrell.